Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. Next two cases are cause number 331-232 and cause number 332-176. All three cases are styled the state of Texas versus Harold Eugene Moulton II. Mr. Moulton, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Moulton, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Moulton, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Moulton, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Moulton?
I'm fine. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Moulton, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Joel Vasquez. Attorney Vasquez, how are you doing?
Good, Your Honor. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Vasquez, do you waive a record in Mr. Moulton's cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Moulton, in cause number 331-232, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information has been filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. This information alleges that on or about October 22nd of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class B misdemeanor offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 2A. Mr. Moulton, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Moulton, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
I plead no contest, Your Honor.
Now, you pleaded no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir, I am.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Moulton, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. On page 2 of this document, there are a set of initials, HM, that are on a line next to a box that's checked nolla contendere, which means no contest. Mr. Moulton, did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir, I did.
On page 3 of this same document, Mr. Moulton, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Mr. Moulton, did you also sign this document?
Yes, sir, I did.
And Mr. Moulton, the next document that I have is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. At the bottom of this document, there's also a signature. Did you also sign this document?
Yes, sir, I did.
At the top of this same document, there are two boxes that are checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Moulton, did you sign a document out there on paper that is titled Discovery Certification?
Yes, sir, I did.
Mr. Moulton, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I have just mentioned to you, did your attorney, Mr. Vasquez, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir, he did.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true?
Yes, sir.
Hold on a minute. Let me see. Mr. Vasquez, I was looking at the misdemeanor plea admonishment on page 1. It has, you checked off the box as saying that this is a Class A misdemeanor. The information has it as a Class B misdemeanor.
My mistake, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Vasquez, if you got the thing, I'm gonna just send it back to you. Check this out. You should get it in a few seconds. Yeah, you should have it right now.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sorry about that.
Okay, no, that's fine. Now, Mr. Moulton, have this document. It is a Class B misdemeanor. The range of punishment for a Class B misdemeanor is confinement in jail for a term not to exceed 180 days, a fine not to exceed $2,000, or both such confinement and fine. Do you understand the range of punishment?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Moulton, do you understand now? Your attorney went over these documents, which is that
Yes,
correct?
sir. Yes,
And
sir.
is everything in these documents with the correction that was just made true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Moulton, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
Okay. State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment. I also have before me the probable cause affidavit. State, you like to offer that as States 2?
Yes, your state offers both states 1 and 2.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Okay, no objection, states 1 and 2 are admitted, and the court will also take judicial notice of states 2. Mr. Vasquez, you've advised in counsel, Mr. Moulton, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Moulton, your attorney, Mr. Vasquez, is advising counsel to you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Moulton, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea in this case, states recommend confinement in the Jefferson County Jail for a period of 90 days. We're asking that the court give this defendant any credit for any time that he's legally entitled to. We're also asking that the jail sentence in this case run concurrent with the companion case of theft that appears in cause number 332176, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Moulton, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in the Jefferson County Jail. You will be given credit for any time that you are entitled to get by law. The court cost in this case is $387. Mr. Moulton, will you be able to pay the $387 court cost?
No, sir. I'm in it, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Moulton, I have before me a document that is titled Affidavit of Indigence, and it has your name on it. This document was signed by Judge Sheffield on January 13th of 2022. Now, in this document, states that your monthly income and assets was 0 and your monthly expenses was 0. Is that still correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you do not receive any type of state benefits, is that correct?
Sir?
You do not receive any.
No, sir, I do not.
Okay, okay, Mr. Moulton, the court is gonna find that you are indigent. Based on that finding, the court cost in this case will be waived. That simply means that you will not have to pay it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, you're welcome. Now, Mr. Moulton, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Moulton, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that the state has made in your case, and with the findings that the court has also made in this case. Now, Mr. Moulton, we will move on to your next case.
Yes, sir.
And hold on a minute, your next case is cause number 332176. Okay. Mr. Moulton, in this case, the state has filed an information, and the information in this case alleges that on or about January 9th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of theft. Mr. Moulton, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, how do you plead?
I plead no contest, Your Honor.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Moulton, I also have before me a document entitled Misdemeanor Plea of Minors, which is State's Exhibit Number 1. On page 2 of this document, there are a set of initials, HM, that are on a line next to a box that's checked no contingent, which means no contest. Mr. Moulton, did you place your initials HM on this document?
Yes, sir, I did.
On the third page of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Mr. Moulton, did you also sign this document?
Yes, sir, I did.
And Mr. Moulton, the next document that we have before us is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. At the bottom of this document, there's also a signature. And did you sign your name on this document?
Yes, sir, I did.
At the top of the same document, there are 2 boxes that are checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Moulton, did you also sign a document in this case that is titled Discovery Certification?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Moulton, before you signed and initialed all of these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, he did, Your Honor.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
And is everything in these documents true and correct?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Moulton, you are a citizen of the United States, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1, misdemeanor plea of minors for State's Exhibit Number 2, the probable cause affidavit. State, you like to offer States 1 and 2?
It's just state offer states 1 and 2.
Any objections, Mr. Vasquez?
No objections to 1 or 2, Your Honor.
Okay, no objection. States Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. State court will take judicial notice of States Exhibit Number 2. Mr. Vasquez, you've advising counsel, Mr. Moulton, in this case, is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Moulton, your attorney, Mr. Vasquez, is also advising counsel you in this case. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent?
Yes, he has, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Moulton, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea, in this case, the state's recommending confinement in the Jefferson County Jail for a period of 90 days. We're asking that the court give this defendant credit for any time that he is legally entitled to. And we're also asking that this case run concurrent with the companion case that appears in cause number 331232, a possession of a controlled substance case.
Okay. Mr. Moulton, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you don't have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail.
Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt. It's not a time served offer.
Oh, thank you. Mr. Moulton, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will be given credit for any time that you are entitled to get by law. The court cost in this case, Mr. Moulton, $327. However, you would not have to pay the $327 because the court has found that you are indigent. And based on the finding of indigency, the court cost will be waived in this case pursuant to Article 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. This case will also run concurrent with cause number 331232. Mr. Moulton, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir. Mr. Holmes, sir, Your Honor, I just want to ask you one question before we proceed. I've come to jail twice before on this issue. I've sat 9 days before on this matter, and I've done the 72-hour accusation also. Do I get the time credit for those times too? I've come in for jail.
The jail is going to calculate your time, and you're going to get all of the time that you're entitled to get by law.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, now, Mr. Moulton, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
I accept it, sir.
Okay, Mr. Moulton, I'll follow the pre-bargain agreements that you have made in this case. Ms. Moulton, this will conclude your cases. You'll be free to go, free to follow the bailiff. And this will conclude your case and you have a blessed day.
You too. God bless you. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. And Mr. Vasquez, I think these are the only two cases that you have today. You're free to go. And you have a blessed day, and the court is glad to see that you are, that you're well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
You have a blessed day as well. Thank you, Mr. Coleman.